Rapid Solicitors, sponsors of the Elite Ice Hockey League on Sky Sports. Accident compensation and medical negligence claims.
Welcome to the Rapid Solicitors Elite Ice Hockey League highlight show here on Sky Sports. Well, we enjoyed Fife and we enjoyed Scotland so much last week that we've come back again. We've even dressed for the occasion, and rightly so, because it's a big night here at the Dundee Ice Arena where the Stars are going to be taking on the Fife Flyers. Remember, both of these teams are chasing that final playoff spot. We also speak to Dundee director Steve Ward, and he'll talk to us about the coaching change here at Dundee that saw the departure of Dan Seaman and the arrival in a coaching sense of Brent Hughes. A very special guest also joins us, Braehead Clan forward Jade Galbraith, and he'll be talking to us about life here in Scotland following his summer move from the Nottingham Panthers. First of all, though, we've got ice hockey action from Saturday night, and a big Saturday night in the Elite League. Chris Ellis is going to talk you through it, well, whilst I tuck into me haggis. You enjoy.
The first game of the weekend saw Braehead keen to snap their poor recent form and Belfast keen to stay clear at the top of the table. First goal of the night, Clark from Dowd at 23:04. Then at the other end, look, great move from Bayrag. He finds his player coach Drew Bannister in the left circle, 1-1 at 28:50. That was a power play goal. Into the third session, and Wedderburn and Bayrag, they set up well for his first goal for the club. Time of that one, 45:46. And look, Pele there, working hard right-hand side. He goes to get his own shot from out the corner, and the man in front with the final touch is Denisett, a first since returning to the club. 2-2, so to penalties. The first man to miss in the shootout was Jeff Mason. Can Galbraith score? No, doesn't put his backhand move. Robert Dowd, he can't get his shot away. Great chance for Worrell to score. Is he going to score? No, save from Murphy. Is someone going to score? Peacock. He goes low, he scores. It means Krestanovic has to score. Can he score? Yes, he can. The pressure was on. Now Mason. Can Mason? Yes, low to the right. Galbraith has to score. We're in a scoring streak in the shootout. Backhand shelf, that move comes out. Robert Dowd. Can it be 3 in a row for Belfast in the shootout? Yes, they do score. So Rurl has to score now. Rurl, it's saved by Murphy. Final score, Braehead 2, Belfast 3. Cardiff looking to consolidate fourth in the Elite League table. The Stingrays looking nervously over their shoulder, though. Teams below them picking up points in the quest for the playoffs. That's a tip from Davis at 7th of the year. 1-0, only goal of the first session, 9:43 gone. Kenton Smith, second session into the offensive zone. Lovely goal, steals the puck off the defenseman, and at 23:10, it's 2-0 to the Cardiff Devils. Madska in the high slot there. He makes it 3-0 at 25:09. It's one-way traffic. It's all going the Cardiff Devils' way. Now, Hill and Pearce work hard behind the net. McRae getting the final touch. It's 4-0. It really is Cardiff's night. Now, is there going to be chance for a rebound? All sorts of bodies. Who's going to get there first? It's Scott Dobbin at 12th of the year. It's 5-0. This really is game over. We're still only in the second session. But Hull came back with a goal. Nice move. Campbell and Davis with the assist. So 1 goal back for 5-1. There was still time for more action, though. Look, Kenton Smith, he gives it to Chris Frank. Neat move. And Frank scores only the second of the year. It's 6-1 then, going into the third session. Now, the Stingrays weren't done with scoring. Tenderler getting his second of the night. But you're still counting. You need an abacus. It's 6-2 here. So, Cardiff coming forward at the other end. That's a neat solo goal from Jeff Pearce. He scores to make it 7-2. Really, really decent goal, that. So, Still time now for another goal. That was Gerard Adams to make it 8-2. So a change in netminder. Joe Myers taken over from Stevie Lyle. Well, he'd only been on the ice 18 seconds and Osman scored. So that at that stage was 8-3. Now into the offensive zone the Stingrays come. We're coming into the final 5 minutes of the game. Boom, Osman set up there from Silverthorne, a second of the night for him. That's 8-4. Now we're going to see a fight. Chamberlain against Harding. The two of them are going to go. And it is Chamberlain who went first, but then Harding. And he looks a tough lad. Plenty of rights there. This is a decent fight between the two of them. Chamberlain getting some rights in there. The two of them just grappling before Harding goes over the top with some rights. And the officials let the fight go on. It's getting quite decent. And the two of them pat each other on the back. That's a fair and decent fight. Great to see. So at that stage, as I said, it was 8-4. And there was still time for Osman, look, to get a hat-trick. Hat-trick goal, 8-5. That's the way it finished. But a hat-trick for Osman. Final score, Cardiff 8, Hull 5.
A good first batch of action from Saturday night. As I say, we're here in Dundee as the Stars take on the Fife Flyers in a Scottish derby. It's been an interesting 18 months, hasn't it, for the Dundee Stars? They entered the league, they had that horrific first 15 games when they couldn't pick up a point. But then at around Christmas last year, it started to turn around for Dan Seaman and his team, and they finished the year very well. Therefore, there was a high expectation from the Dundee faithful here that the second year was going to be a lot better, but it hasn't panned out that way. There's been a recent coaching change, so this was an ideal opportunity to speak to Stars director Steve Ward, talk to him about how things were going in Dundee, and of course those coaching changes that have seen Seaman depart and Brent Hughes make the step up from player to player coach. Steve, second year in the Elite League, but I'm pretty sure it hasn't been the second year you would have hoped for.
As I say, there's still a long way to go as far as we're concerned in the league, Dave. It has been a bit up and down. We've had some good results, some not so good results. We've obviously changed things around with letting Dan Seaman go 2 or 3 weeks ago. Brent stepped into the breach, as it were, and so far he's done a great job for us. We've changed some personnel, so we're hopeful that with the running we've got to the end of the season, we're still hopeful of picking up a lot of points. It was an
horrific start you had last year, and Danny seems to then rectify it, and you ended the season very well, and I'm sure the hope was that that was going to continue. It just didn't, did it?
Well, we had a horrendous start to the season, the fact that we played all the big boys for the first, it seemed like forever. Then, the tail end of the season was when we started being more competitive as a team and playing teams round about us in the league. And we proved it by making the playoffs last year. Okay, it didn't go exactly the way we planned at the start of the season, but we're still hopeful. We still see a lot of progress within the team.
Was Brent the natural successor to Dan?
Yeah, I think he was. I mean, Brent's got the team at heart. He loves Dundee, he loves the city, he loves the people in the city. So he was, when we asked him if he wanted, he didn't need to ask twice. He didn't ask for anything. He just says, right, I'll take the job on without even getting a second thought. So yeah, we think we've made the right decision, Brent.
4 teams in Scotland, that must have helped you in the promotion of the game and the general awareness of the Stars.
I think without a doubt it's the best thing that's happened. When Braehead joined the league and Fife and ourselves were playing at a lower level, we were run out of opposition. It was effectively us and Fife and Dumfries at certain extents as well. But the 4 teams is definitely a great thing for Scottish hockey in general, and long may it continue.
We saw in Fife the enthusiasm there, and when we came and did the live show last year, there was the great enthusiasm here. I would imagine the combination of the two of you tonight, we're in for a bit of a burner, aren't we?
Well, I'm looking forward to tonight's game because there's everything at stake. There's only 1 point between both teams, and I mean it's bragging rights till next weekend when we play them again. So, but no, Fife Dundee games are always fantastic games, great atmosphere. Crowd will be behind both teams, and whoever wins the game, it'll be a fantastic night of hockey here in Dundee. Yeah.
Objections now for Dundee from now till the end of the season?
I think we just got to take every game as it comes. I mean, we've got a good set of guys now. I think the new guy we brought in, Kalanis, has made a big difference to the team. He's brought a bit of grit and determination that was maybe lacking at some points during games. He just brings the team through that, and I'm hopeful that we could gain enough points to make the playoffs.
How have the fans been with the change in the season so far?
Oh, they're always quick to tell me what they think. So yeah, no, we've got a great set of fans. Every team will say the same thing, but we do have a great set of fans here, and they've stuck by the team through thick and thin. I think a lot of them just are happy to see the standard of hockey back in the building, you know. So again, we try to do our best for them every season, and we're already making inroads in for next season to see how we could strengthen the team, so we'll see how it goes from there.
Good words from Dundee director Steve Ward. Time now for some more action from around the league. Chris Ellis will talk you through it.
Going into this game, it was bottom against top, and the Fife Flyers, well, they were outshot throughout the game. 14-40 with the shots on goal, and only 3 in the first period for the Fife Flyers. The Belfast Giants had shots on goal of 10, 15 and 15 in each period, and that was one of the 40 there from left-hand side. Now Pele coming forward. Watch this move. Into the offensive zone he comes now. Cuts inside away from the defenseman, goes to shoot. Now Zemlak makes a save, but he makes his save by throwing his stick. Doug Christensen having words with Neil Wilson, but it will be a penalty shot. It's a chance for Pele, but Zemlak, well, he shows the glove. He denies him, doesn't he? So we see the scoreline stay at 0-0. This was going now into the third period. Still no goals, but that's the first. Awada with his 6th goal of the season right on the doorstep. 1-0 Belfast. Dan Seaman, the former Dundee Stars player coach, unhappy. He got a misconduct there for his troubles. Now Belfast got stronger as the period went on. That's a lovely, lovely goal from Clark. Lovely move, possession of the puck, round the back, out in front. That's the 9th of the year for him. And there was still time for an empty net goal. Robert Dowd's 20th of the season. It was tight for 2 periods, but Belfast got the better in the 3rd session. Fife Flyers 0, Belfast Giants 3. Nottingham looking for a 4-point weekend to keep the pressure on leaders Belfast, and they took the lead. Benedict from behind the net, the rebound there from Fox. It was Nottingham's 900th goal at home in the Elite League era, so 1-0 Nottingham. Look, 2 players about to go, Lepine and Jernick. They take off their gloves, Jernick takes a run, and Lepine, though, with the right, he lands some real big bombs with the right. Jernick goes down, gets back up, and the players want to go, but because the players went down, the officials have to step in and stop the fight, and they're doing their best there. Both players still throwing punches. Nottingham annoyed, I think, because then the linesman really did come in and break it up, and this time the referee, Murray Hansen, has to go in as well. That was a big fight, and Lepine with the win. So Nottingham still in the first session on the power play. Neat movement. Beauregard involved, Corey Nielsen as well, and the rebound there for Matt Francis. The other assist going to Reinanen. So that's 2-0 Nottingham at the end of the first period. Matt Francis into the offensive zone. Solo goal. Beats Hirsch at his near post. That's 3-0 Nottingham at 23 minutes and 11 seconds. There is a shocking kneeing incident on Myers by Jernick. So Lepine steps in again and lands some more punches on Jernick. Myers ended up missing the rest of the game, but did return to action on Sunday, as you'll see later. Lepine unhappy. Myers gingerly gets off the ice, and Jernick is thrown out of the game. So Nottingham, at this stage, in control. And, of course, the Coventry plays an import down in the game. Clark set up, trademark goal, left circle. How often do we see that? Benedict and Fox with the assist, and then Lakovic into the offensive zone. It falls nicely for Myers, backhand deflection, and Matthew Myers makes it a nice Nottingham situation with a 5-0 advantage. Could Coventry find a first goal of the night? They did. Wicked deflection on that one, but it's James Griffin's goal from the blue line, and the final goal of the night, short-handed. Fox, lovely pass. Beauregard, what a thriller into the back of the net. Nottingham win this one at a canter. Panthers 6, Coventry 1. A second home game in as many nights for the Braehead Clan. 83 seconds in, McPherson in the slot, 1-0 to the home side. We'd barely been playing 6 minutes, and Dundee coming forward. Hutchins and Forsyth combining, and right in the right place is Kalanis. 2nd goal of the year, 2nd goal since joining the club. Nice move there in front of the net, and the netminder from Bayrak. He scores to make it 2-1 at 8:57 at the other end. Good save from Sumalainen, but Conkle and Dolan combine into the slot as Hutchins. It's 2-2 at 12:03. Break from Braehead. It's Galbraith. It's Bayrak. and Jorgensen jumps onto the play. 36 seconds to go in the opening session. It's 3-2. Crucial goal because then the tide turns in the home side's favour. First of all, Bayrak just into the second session. That's for 4-2, his second of the night. Then right-hand side the shot comes in from Bannister and Bayrak completes his hat-trick. So 5-2. And is it really going Braehead's way? Well, it is, but into the third session, Conkle's 14th of the year makes it a 2-goal game for Kalanis and Mitchell. They're working hard left-hand side, and you see in the slot is McLean for a 12th of the year. Final score, Braehead 5, Dundee 4.
Good wins there for the Nottingham Panthers and the Belfast Giants. Both tricky games for the league's two top teams. Time for a break now, but when we come back, we'll be joined by a very special guest. Probably the most gifted player in the Rapid Solicitors Elite Ice Hockey League. Yes, Jade Galbraith will join us.
Sponsors of the Elite Ice Hockey League on Sky Sports. Sponsors of the Elite Ice Hockey League on Sky Sports.
Well, this is what happens when an Englishman loses a bet to one of the directors of the Dundee Stars wearing a kilt in Dundee. Welcome back to the Rapid Solicitors Elite Ice Hockey League highlight show here on Sky Sports, where you can see I'm joined by Braehead Clan forward Jade Galbraith. Jade, thanks for coming to see us here tonight on a day off, but it's a busy time in Scottish hockey, a Scottish derby, and a good time to be in Scotland.
Oh, definitely. You know, anytime two Scottish teams play against each other, you know, there's a great atmosphere, you know, great emotion, and the teams definitely want to win for their fans.
As we said in the opening of the show, these two teams are all now battling for the playoffs as well. Fife have run into a bit of form. Oh, definitely. Yeah, well, they obviously beat us the last game out. They've been playing really well. They're playing a system now that their coach Detorum, or I don't even know how to say his last name, but anyway, he's got a system and they're playing it really well, and you know they're shaking some heads up in the league now. It was a big move in the summer, wasn't it, folks, when Jade moved from the Nottingham Panthers to the Braehead Clan? How have you settled in there, and what's life like in Glasgow? It's really good. You know, I love it. A great team, great guys. Obviously, same owner and management, so you don't have to leave far from that, which was a good kind of changing period. But as for the hockey, you know, we're doing pretty well. You know, as myself, you know, I'm doing all right too. But you know, it's different. You know, more of a rebuilding, more of a you got to fight for every point you got to get. As in Nottingham, you know, it was a little bit different. We were, you know, you're expected, and now it's more, you know, you got to fight for it. You are a pivotal point of that team yourself. Kristanovic are there to score the goals. On and off the ice, you're the two, if you like, that have got to lead that club forward. Is that a role you enjoy, being that kind of go-to guy? Oh, definitely. You know, anytime you're a leader of a team and you're relied on to do things, you know, it's definitely a part in any job is what you want to do. So me and Jordan are you know, and Mike Bayrak are trying to, you know, lead the team as best we can and take it in the uprising that we want to take the Braehead Clan. More from Jade Galbraith in a short while. Good times to be in Scotland, which is where we are for the Scottish derby between the Dundee Stars and the Fife Flyers. Well, just a few moments ago, I caught up with both coaches, Dan Seaman and Brent Hughes. Dan, we talk about huge games week in, week out, but this really is a big one with both teams chasing that final playoff spot. Yeah, this is a monster game, and especially also it sets the tone for the next 3 games after this. We have 4 games against Dundee, and everyone's going to be a monster. What's happened in Fife? An upturn in form, there's a huge sense of optimism. Yeah, there is. I think just after Christmas there was a big confidence builder. We won a couple of games there. I think a huge part of the turnaround is that the Scottish players are playing unbelievably. All the ice they had to log early in the season, I think it's really paying off right now, and especially our D guys like Wando and Kyle Horn and Tommy Muir. They're playing lots of minutes, and they're playing key minutes as well. You look in the papers or you talk about the Fife Flyers, everybody talks about Zemlak, but the Flyers are a bit more than just Zemlak. I mean, he's had a great year, but there has to be some productivity up front, and I guess that's one of your jobs. Yeah. I mean,
Zemlyak definitely is there whenever we need him, and early in the year he put on some unbelievable displays. The one in Nottingham I heard was just out of this world. But yeah, I mean we're getting a full team contribution right now. We got 3 lines and 4 or 5 or 6 D-men, whatever we have going at the time. But everybody's contributing, and I mean I like the fact that there's no big scores or big stars, and I think that's what's kind of doing it for us right now. It's a total team commitment.
How have you found it? You've gone from player coach 24/7 to going into being a player.
Well, there's definitely a lot more time on my hands during the day. That's one thing I've had to get used to, but I mean, Stewie and myself have been helping Doots as much as possible, and I mean, it's kind of a team approach from the leadership standpoint as well. So that's given me a lot of focus and a lot of time to regain the focus of the time that I've been missing with Dundee.
Brent, these games are always huge up here in Scotland. A little bit more spice now. Fife have picked up a little bit in the last few weeks, and they're chasing you for that final playoff spot.
Yeah, they're a confident team right now. They're going to come in here and try to steal 2 points. You know, we just had a good meeting with the guys in the dressing room about making sure we're ready to forget last night and be ready to go here tonight.
Your recent form, you've made an addition. Kalanis coming into the lineup. How do you feel you are placed going into now this, if you like, business end of the year?
He adds that extra bit of offense that we desperately need right now. You know, he's come in here, his first couple of games he's producing. You know, he came up big in Hull a couple weeks back. So, you know, I'm looking for him to do the same, you know, tonight and for the rest of the season.
Interesting times up here in Scotland with you teams all battling night in, night out, so many local derbies. The Flyers, though, have got the tail between their legs right now, and they're really giving it a go. Yeah,
they are, and we expect them to do the same tonight. And you know, for us, we got to approach them that you know, they're the Belfast Giants or the Nottingham Panthers or Sheffield Steelers. We got to come out here, we got to compete hard for 60 minutes and just not be outworked in our building.
Dan Seaman also comes back with them, a good friend of yours, your former boss. How awkward or how is it between the two of you, and how was it when he had to leave and if you like, you jumped into his berth?
Yeah, it was definitely a difficult situation, and you know, the first phone call obviously was very awkward, but you know, Dan moved on and we had to move on. You know, we still keep in touch, we still talk, so you know, he's always going to be a good friend as well as his wife Melanie. So you know, his first game back here, I expected no different from him. He came in here, scored a hat-trick, he was ready to play. He's a professional, so I'm expecting him to do the same thing tonight.
Interesting words from the two former teammates who tonight are on the opposite sides of the fence in this big battle, this big Scottish derby. Who's going to make the playoffs, the Flyers or the Dundee Stars? Time for more action now from around the league. Talking you through it as ever is Chris Ellis.
The second meeting of the weekend between these two sides, a goal fest on Saturday. How would it be on Sunday? Well, Cardiff thought they'd taken the lead through Kent and Smith. Red light went on, but the puck hadn't crossed the line. Dean Smith there, right there to make the decision. In the second period, Phil Hill into the offensive zone. He shoots and Boucher makes the save. One of 49 shots that Cardiff had in the game. Cardiff got stronger and stronger as the second period went on, and Smith jumps into the play and he does score that time. The assist going to Davis and Burrows, nice goal, and the visitors were ahead. Here we see all sorts of rebounds. Netminder can't get to it. It's 1-1, a minute and a half after Cardiff went ahead. Silverthorne has levelled and makes it 1-1. So where would things go in the third period? Shot from the blue line there from McRae. Boucher making the save. He was in fine form. Now it's Matska into the offensive zone. He is brought down. It's a penalty shot. Dean Smith signals a penalty shot, so it will be Matska to have a go. No, he's denied by Boucher, so we stay at 1-1. Exciting times, and so to the shootout. The first chance, that's a good save. Scott Matska, he's denied once more. So at the other end, it's Osman, and Osman tries to go. No, it's 0-0 then after one shot. Jeff Pearce are a weak shot. So Cam Dimitri, Rodin score. Number 7 on his back. Yes, he can 5-hole. 1-0. So McRae has to score. He needs to score. Backhand. Boucher denies him. That's a good save from Boucher. He stands tall. Cardiff have 1 point and Hull have 2. Stingrays 2. Devils 1.
It's a Scottish derby up here in Dundee between the Stars and the Fife Flyers. We'll have all the highlights from that game and a lot more from around the Rapid Solicitors Elite Ice Hockey League after the break. Don't you go anywhere.
sponsors of the Elite Ice Hockey League on Sky Sports. Sponsors of the Elite Ice Hockey League on Sky Sports.
Welcome back to the Rapid Solicitors Elite Ice Hockey League highlight show here on Sky Sports. Warm-up almost over, game time almost to begin. Get to that part of the night where we start looking for a winner here, Jade. Where's your money tonight?
Well, I think it's going to be really tight. I think it'd probably be an overtime game, both of these teams getting points. But I have to put Dundee, maybe just because we played against them last night and they played so well. But yeah, I'm thinking in overtime or a shootout, maybe my buddy Mark Kalanis gets a goal. So I'm taking Dundee.
The one area that the Fife Flyers do lack on slightly is scoring. They're struggling to find the back of the net right now.
Yeah, definitely. You know, it's tough to get into a rhythm and get some, line switches, injuries, stuff like that. So, I obviously the more goals you score, you win more. But at these two teams, if they can get maybe 2 or 3 goals tonight, that might be enough to get a win with the way the goalies are playing.
So Jade Galbraith goes for the Dundee Stars. I'm going to go for the Fife Flyers. Let's find out who is going to win this game. Here's Chris Ellis to talk us through it.
Massive game at the bottom of the table for many reasons, not least Scottish derby. These two sides don't like each other. Then, of course, the playoff race. Hull and Edinburgh can still be caught by these two. Certainly, Fife Flyers seem to be the form team at the moment. In the first period, though, Dundee outshot the Flyers 15-7. Plenty of chances on Garrett Zemlak's net. And as you can see, they were moving it around really nicely. This chance here, Wizard, left-hand side, into the offensive zone. Driving the net is Hughes. And he gets a good chance. Maybe should have done better. You'll see from the replay, it's an inch-perfect pass. Zemlak does cover the angle, but Hughes just manages to hit the side netting. So at this stage, it's 0-0 and plenty of shots on net for the Dundee Stars. But as sometimes can happen, look, there's a man out of position. It's Mitchell racing back, but it's a 2-on-1 break, and the finish is by Bakralik, an 11th of the year. Caddick and Stewart combined. Lovely move from them. And suddenly it's 1-0 in the blink of an eye. And the visitors, you see their fans on the right-hand side in the Scottish derby. The visitors are ahead. Then it was power play time for the Dundee Stars, but turnover. Turner gives it away. Racing away into the offensive zone is Hartmanis. Backhand pass. And Stewart scores a 9th of the year. It's 2-0, and the Dundee Stars are looking very dejected. Look into the offensive zone, and the pass away. Those fans celebrate once more. It's a 2-goal game, so Dundee needed something with the period coming to a close. Another power play for them, so they've had their chances with the man advantage, and this time they're a bit more patient. The man steps out from behind the net, and Brennan Turner scores. 7 seconds to go in the period. The assist to McGough and the other one to Dolan in its 100th Elite League competitive game. Also for South, getting that same record in the same game. 100 up for the pair of them, so congratulations. So at the end of the first period, it's a 1-goal game, and certainly the home side looking to get back into things, but it was the Fife Flyers who started to create some good chances in this second session. Driving the net is Dutium. That chance is saved, so it stays at a 1-goal game. You then see at the other end, Dundee Stars coming forward. Hutchins chasing down the loose puck, and he's going to go to the penalty bench there. Boarding is the call from referee Tom Darnell. The players don't like that. They all get involved. Players on the floor, of course, and Dan Seaman, bit of a smile in the end. Bit of words. Mitchell having a word with him as well. Of course, Mitchell used to be a player under Dan Seaman. Hutchins goes to the box, doesn't look too happy about it, but he will sit for 2 minutes. As I said earlier, this was a 1-goal game, and it could have gone either way. It was very close. Dundee creating the chances. Look, shot comes in. Lovely glove save from Zemlak. The shot coming in from the blue line. You get a good view of it in this replay. He sticks out his left glove. Was it going just wide? Was it creeping in? Didn't matter. Zemlak was equal to it. More power play time for the Dundee Stars. And Brennan Turner was to be involved once more. He is just drifting in. You can just see him now. Drifting in at the back door. Unmarked. He's not picked up there by Maxwell. But 2 more saves for Zemlak. Busy time for the netminder that is fast becoming a real favourite for the Fife Flyers. Dundee now, though, coming forward. What can they do? They need to create something into the offensive zone, one end of the ice to the other. McGough, though, is denied by Zemlak. It stays at 2-1. Now Fife Flyers suddenly have some possession. There's a shot in front of the net, it goes wide, a few more deflections, it's suddenly loose, Dundee can't clear, and the final touches by Cohen. Hart managed to get the assist. Dundee on the floor, they don't know what they've done wrong. They're 3-1 down in a game where they are out shooting the Fife Flyers. More words in front of the net, Maxwell had the shot, it's push and shove once more. Both sides getting feisty. As I said earlier, they don't like each other. Certainly no love lost. But the referee having a good look is Tom Darnell. So 3-1, and Dundee really need to get the next goal. Now the Fife fans aren't happy because their player coach Todd Dutiam is going to the box. He goes to that box protesting his innocence. But look, Hughes coming away with the puck. He is robbed. And this is a chance. The rob is there by Gunn. And the finish is by Samuel after the pass from Wilson, his first goal for the club. And that's the end of the scoring. Big win for Fife. Dundee 1, Flyers 4.
It's had a great victory and a hard-earned one.
Yeah, and I think this is something that's been a long time coming. I think for the last 5 weeks, this team's been playing a lot better hockey, and the results haven't been going our way. But finally, we got a decisive win. Takes us off the bottom of the table, so we've got a really pleased dressing room over there.
I bet you have. How big a relief is it just to move into that 9th position now, and you really are chasing 8th down?
Yeah, well, that's what we said. That's always one of our goals, that we're going to make the playoffs. And we said it like earlier. We made a call. This is a must-win, and we got these guys 3 more times. So to get a decisive victory, hopefully sends a bit of a message to both teams, and for our guys to say, keep going, keep building on this. But it's only one. It's only one hurdle. We got a big game on Tuesday. That's one of our games in hand. And if we're going to make a run at this, we're going to have to start picking these points up.
Zemlak had another great night, but it's too easy just to keep focusing on him. There's lots of other guys who are contributing now, and that must please you.
It really is. And I mean, like, our third line is composed of all local Brits, and they're working hard. They play a regular shift, and I think they're doing a great job. Not many teams go with that, but you know what? I think that they've had a tough time adjusting. They've certainly started playing better. They chipped in offensively tonight. Andy Samuel got his first Elite League goal. If we can get that kind of contribution and them staying on the plus side of things, who knows what can happen.
Just talk us through the game briefly. It was important you got off to a good start, and you got off to the best possible start with Backlick and Stewart.
Well, and I mean, I think those guys just played absolutely fantastic. I mean, Hartmann shows his class. When he gets his wheels going, there's not many guys in the league going to catch him, And Stewie, he really deserves that goal because he's the man behind the scenes that's grinding it out all the time, playing hard. And it was good to see the puck go in for both those fellas tonight. But
just a quick word on the fans behind you. It was an incredible turnout, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, our support for the last 5 weeks has been building and building and building. But you know what? You said it the other week, Kirkcaldy's a hockey town. They want to see good hockey played, and hopefully they're getting that now. But I mean, if the numbers keep going like that, I can't see why we can't be very successful in the future.
Brent, that wasn't the result you were looking for, was it?
No, definitely not. I thought for the most part we controlled that game. I thought at least 90% of that game we controlled, and we were taking it to them. We were outworking them. And just, Zemlak played another outstanding game for them.
Must be frustrated as a coach when you create those chances. You've got some quality in that dressing room who've got a history of scoring goals. Why aren't they right now?
I think too many guys are trying to put too much pressure on themselves, and maybe that's my fault. But we just gotta come out there and we just gotta work for each other. And I just finished telling the guys in the room, it's not going to take one guy or 2 guys. We all got to work together, and we got to come into practice on Wednesdays, and we got to compete hard and just shake the rust out and get back to work and take the good things into the weekend. You
don't need me to tell you that signing deadline is about to happen. All coaches at the moment are looking to see if they can tinker. Are you able to tinker if the owners here said you can make a change if you can find the right guy?
Yeah, we got a little something going on just now. I'll find out probably later on tonight or tomorrow morning. Hopefully we'll have the deal done, and he'll be in our lineup on Saturday.
Again, you don't need me to tell you, you've gone into 10th position tonight. It's not where the Stars need to be, but you're still confident. I'm sure you can make the final 8.
Absolutely. There's no question. Every guy in that room is confident that we're going to be that team getting in the 8th spot, possibly 7th. You never know. So we just got to stay that way. We'll take this one tonight, and over tonight and tomorrow morning, and on Tuesday we got to come back to work, and Wednesday, and keep building on to Thursday and on to Friday and take it into the weekend.
A game-winning goal from Danny Stewart, a colossal win by the Fife Flyers, and we'll have Jade Galbraith here after the break to talk you through all the interesting points from tonight's game. Don't you go anywhere.
Sponsors of the Elite Ice Hockey League on Sky Sports. Sponsors of the Elite Ice Hockey League on Sky Sports.
Welcome back to the Rapid Solicitors Elite Ice Hockey League highlight show here on Sky Sports, where we've just seen a huge victory for Todd Dutiam and the Fife Flyers, 4-1 over the Dundee Stars. And Jade Galbraith, Dundee might have had the puck for most of the night, but they didn't do a great deal with it, and they couldn't put the puck in the net, and that's what cost them.
Well, yeah, they ran into a hot goalie. Zemlak played, he played really well. All the shots that got to him, he deflected them to the corner, and there was no rebounds all night for them. They didn't have as much traffic as they probably wanted. Brent Hughes probably wanted a little more traffic, but as for pucks to the net, he was on his game for sure tonight.
That first period that we saw the Fife Flyers take control on the scoreboard, two kind of breakaway goals. Danny Stewart and Bakrelik got those. But as you said, the Fife Flyers, they do go to the net very well, and it's how they score their goals.
Well, definitely. When you have a team that is put together as they are, they've had some guys leave and guys come in. The one thing is that they can have a system where every time they get the puck, they just throw it on net, and they did that tonight. And Dundee played a great game, but they just weren't strong in front of their net, and 3 of those goals are because of that, and you can't have that.
We talked about Stars, didn't we? And at the top of the show, we talked about Zemlak, the goalie. I mean, we'll build a statue for that lad. I mean, he's playing so well right now. He's going to earn a good contract somewhere next year, isn't he? And he's what they build their foundations of. Oh, definitely. They play kind of a defensive system. They're not a team that gets a lot of chances, but when they do, they capitalize. And in the last, 5 or 6 games that they've been playing and getting points on is because they get to the net and they're just jamming away. And when you got a goalie that's playing like that behind you, you're pretty confident, and they're a confident group right now, and they're going to do some damage soon. They've won 3 of the last 5 games, the Five Flyers. Can they make it? Can they get into that 8th spot? I think they can. I think it's open. I think it's open for anybody right now. Any of the teams right now. Edinburgh's sitting pretty good right now, but they had a tough weekend, and Dundee, they could do it too. It just matters of who's getting hot at the right times, and definitely riding a hot goalie is going to get you a lot of wins. Well, the Five Flyers have moved off the bottom of the table tonight, and Brent Hughes' Dundee Stars now fill that 10th position. This wasn't the only game of the weekend, though. We have plenty more action on Sunday, and Chris Ellis is going to talk you through it.
It's always a great game when Nottingham go into Coventry, but going into this one, the Panthers yet to win in the Sky Dome this season, and the home side went ahead. Owen Fussy on the doorstep there, 9:45 gone. Craig Kowalski protesting that he was impeded. Nottingham had power play time as the period was coming to a close, and Beauregard steps out from behind the back to score a 31st goal of the season. And after, well, a bit of push and shove, players throwing a few punches, tempers were frayed, and that was to continue throughout the game. So Nottingham had their tails up, and then Rhett Gordon, the new boy, and Brock Wilson there with the shot. It's tipped in by Mark Levers, a 9th of the year, 2 goals in 18 seconds, and Nottingham, well, they led by 2-1. No goals in the second period, but Matthew Myers in the third there scoring, and Nottingham were 3-1 up in the Sky Dome. Rhett Gordon there going towards goal. You don't see a little coming together out the picture, and Mark Levers and Russ Cowley, well, they're getting involved. And then watch, Peter Hirsch, whoosh, down goes Mark Levers, and again it starts. All sorts of players getting involved, a couple pairing off there, but cameraman pans left and sees Farmer against Brock Wilson, and this one's very one-sided, and Brock Wilson is going to get the points in this one. Plenty of lefts, plenty of rights. Farmer trying to get going, but Wilson just too strong for him, and he lands much the better of the punches, and the linesmen come in and they certainly separate them. For his part in the incident, Peter Hirsch was given a 5+ game for high stick and played no further part in the game. Young netminder Brandon Stones was the man, as you see, to take his place. So Nottingham at that stage were ahead, were 3-1 up, and it was to get better as the period went on, and Nottingham certainly started some free-flowing moves. Lapine, nice pass for Fox, who scores his 21st of the year, so that's 4-1 Nottingham. Ryan coming forward left-hand side, and this time Francis sets up Clark, who takes a deflection to beat Stones, and Clark scores a 27th of the year for 5-1. Still time for Corey Nielsen from the blue line. That's 6-1 Nottingham. Gordon getting the assist, so that's 3 assists in his second game for the club. Rhett Gordon, the former Ayr and Sheffield man. Nottingham fans happy. Coventry 1, Nottingham 6. A feisty midweek Scottish derby that, as you'll see, gets better and better as the game goes on. Backradick with the shot there. The puck isn't cleared, and that's a great move from Caddick in front of the netminder. Second since joining the club, so 21 minutes and 21 seconds. It's 1-0 Fife. Now watch this pass from Bayrak. Lovely move, McPherson in front of the net. It's saved, but Backradick doesn't like what goes on. The two of them come together. Only minor penalties handed out by referee Neil Wilson. The gloves weren't dropped, but that wasn't the end of feistiness in the game. You'll see it gets really, really tasty. Great move again from Bayrak to come away from the man. Then that's a big, big hit there from Kyle Horn. Certainly Bayrak showing his skills and showing why he's scoring a stack of goals. Galbraith into the offensive zone, tries to leave it for Kostanovic, and again stuff going on. Oh, look at the way new boy there, Lee Mitchell, his first appearance for Braehead. He goes jumping in there on Thomas Muir. Didn't like that, did he? Told you it was feisty, and there's more to come. Now into the offensive zone comes Kostanovic, and that goes in off Cohen. Oh, the hapless defenseman there. How sorry do you feel for him? Into the penalty shootout then. A point each. Galbraith, backhand. He did that move so many times for Nottingham. It works there. Danny Stewart. Can he score? No pad save. So we're still at 1-0 to Braehead. It's Kostanovic. He could really make some headway for Braehead. No, that one's wide. So at the other end, we see a chance for Dan Seaman. No. So it's still 1-0. Can Brock McPherson win it for Braehead with this one? He doesn't really get his shot away, delays it, and then doesn't get a good chance on net. So Maxwell has to score. Low backhand, good finish. It's 1-1 then after one round. Will Galbraith pull the same move? No, goes right-hand side. He scores. So Danny Stewart has to score. Can he score? No, he doesn't. Does he leave the knee in on the netminder? Well, netminder seems to think so. And watch Drew Bannister come out of nowhere, leaves the bench and challenging to a fight. Bannister was to get a whole host of penalties, including the fight penalty, leaving the bench, of course. That one was over pretty quickly, but Drew Bannister jumping to the defence of his netminder. He kisses his shirt. He shows the fans what it means to him. Final score, Fife 1, Braehead 2.
So the scores from Saturday night in Edinburgh, the Sheffield Steelers victorious 4-2. Braehead Clan beating the Dundee Stars by the odd goal in 9. Nottingham with a comprehensive victory over the Coventry Blaze 6-1. Cardiff, look at the scoreline there, 8-5 over the Hull Stingrays. And the Fife Flyers going down at home to the Belfast Giants by 3-0. Flip forward 24 hours to Sunday. Hull Stingrays with a penalty shot shootout win over the Cardiff Devils. A valuable 2 points for Sylvain Cloutier. Dundee going down at home in the game we've seen tonight to that Danny Stewart game-winning goal. A 4-1 victory for the Flyers. Sheffield's second victory of the weekend over the Edinburgh Capitals. Steve Burnstill with a hat-trick, 6-3 the final score. And the Nottingham Panthers, well, duplicated the score from Saturday night, but this time at the Skydome Arena, 6-1, and 6 different scorers for Corey Nelson's team. Tuesday night, Fife Flyers won the Braehead Clan 2. That was in a shootout, and that earned the Fife Flyers a valuable point. And we'll see there that that point does move the Fife Flyers 1 point closer to the Edinburgh Capitals. Just 6 points separate Fife and Edinburgh. Have a guess who plays the very last game of the season on the very last day. You got it. Edinburgh versus Fife. Could it go down to the last game? Let's take a look up at the top where the Nottingham Panthers and the Sheffield Steelers still chase the Belfast Giants. The only real change is that Cardiff now cemented in 4th place. So, fixtures on Saturday, the 4th of February, see the Cardiff Devils travel to the Odyssey Arena in Belfast. Coventry entertain Fife. Dundee Stars go to the NIC, whilst the Sheffield Steelers play their first of 2 games at the Motorpoint Arena on Saturday against the Hull Stingrays. We move forward 24 hours to Sunday the 5th, where Cardiff entertain Jade Galbraith's Braehead Clan. Dundee are back at home in a repeat of tonight's fixture against the Fife Flyers. Edinburgh entertain the Nottingham Panthers, and that top-of-the-table clash between the Sheffield Steelers and the Belfast Giants. Well, I'd certainly recommend that you try and take in one of those games next weekend. A couple that stand out for me, Jade, both on Sunday. Your visit with the Braehead Clan to the Cardiff Devils. That's never an easy place to go.
Oh, definitely. You know, they have a reputation in the league of being, you know, unbelievable at home. You know, they have a team that's kind of set up for their rink, and yeah, it's definitely going to be a tough place to play, especially with us, you know, wanting to get up into their spot. So it's going to be a good battle.
And whilst we've been talking about making the playoffs tonight with Fife and Dundee, the big game next weekend is that one at the Motorpoint Arena, Sheffield versus Belfast.
Oh, definitely. You know, having played, you know, not Sheffield as much as we'd like this year. We've only played them twice. We played Belfast quite a bit. Definitely, both teams are going to be there right at the end of the season. So these are you know, championship games coming up here, implications. So you can't get too far behind anybody that's leading the league right now. So it's definitely going to be a good game.
We're into February now, as such, and it's the business end of the year, isn't it?
This is where people get, you know, their paychecks, and where guys make a name for themselves, and you know, everybody wants contracts for next year, and this is the time to do it. So, you know, the championship is going to be won in February. It's not going to be won in March. It'll be won in February. You know, taking it into the end. So right now, these games are going to be absolutely huge.
Well, you'll be able to see all of those huge games next Friday when we are back on air, a 6 p.m. face-off, Sky Sports 4. Please come and join us. We look forward to seeing you then. Well, that's all for now. We'll see you next week at 6 p.m, as we've just said, on Sky Sports 4. Thanks for joining us, Jade. It's been an interesting night.
Thanks for dressing up for me.
Well, when Jade's in town, you have to dress up. That's it here from Dundee Ice Arena, where Todd Dutiam leaves the rink a very happy man. A huge win for the Fife Flyers. We'll see you next week. Good night.
Rapid Solicitors, sponsors of the Elite Ice Hockey League on Sky Sports. Accident compensation and medical negligence claims.